What will it take to get the LGBTQ plus community to support the T? As politicians continue to attack individuals on the transgender spectrum, many in the LGBT community seem to be distancing themselves from transgender issues. In order to protect their own rights, some cisgender members of the community are calling for the removal of the T in LGBT as to not turn an eye of bigoted lawmakers towards them. While the transgender individuals in the US may be the easiest target for othering, laws that protect the rest of the LGBTQ plus community are already under attack. Religious freedom laws and the statement by the Supreme Court Justice Clarence that gay marriage is due to be overturned should make those individuals realize that unless we are all united, the entire LGBTQ community is at risk.
On one hand, this infuriates me. It infuriates me because if you look back at the Stonewall riots that originally happened, it was led by trans women, Marsha P. Johnson and Sylvia Rivera. Trans people have always been invited to the riots. They have always been invited to the protests. They've always been asked to perform at the events and the fundraisers. We, as trans people, have fought for gay rights for a very long time. And on the other hand, it doesn't surprise me because most trans people aren't even welcome in most LGBTQ spaces. I can't tell you how many places I've been and they're like, oh, is it drag queen night? And I'm like, no, sweetheart, I'm not in drag. And they're like,
yeah, I mean, it's like we've always been, you're right, Missy, we led the trans community, we led the LGBT right movement. And it's sad that we've always been swept underneath the rug. And you're absolutely right. I experienced many times where, and even currently I still experience discriminatory, this nastiness, like, oh, you're in drag. Oh, where are you going to perform next? And things like that. I'm not in drag. I've experienced that. And I still experience that. And then what I'm trying to basically get is just we've always been swept underneath the rug, and I hate this.
So I want to just say too, when you look at these bigots, right? Yeah. When you look at the folks who hate us and are passing policy to undermine any of the rights that we've gained as a community, it all looks and sounds the same as the Anita Bryant campaign in 1977.
Yeah.
The words are the same, and the rhetoric is the same. The tactics are the same. And so I think it's, well, it's silly.
Yes, it is.
I'll just be nice. I'll be nice and say
no, it's silly.
To even think that that discrimination that looks the same is going to look different in the future, right? So when they're using the same words and the same tactics to attack trans people, the best thing that we can do is all stand together and say, hey, we've heard this nonsense before. We've beat it before, and we're going to defeat it again. And the only way, gay and lesbian folks who think that we don't matter are only undermining themselves, because when you look at homophobic attacks, it often is predicated on the idea of gender presentation, right?
Yep.
Yes. And so if you erase us, you put yourselves at risk.
Unfortunately, as part of the human condition, a lot of times when a member of our human population is being attacked, we often sit back if it doesn't affect us. It doesn't have anything to, oh, Jewish people are being attacked, who cares? Black people are being attacked, who cares? It has nothing to do with me. Italians are being attacked, oh, who cares? It doesn't affect me. But guess what? We are human beings, and it affects us as a human population. And as LGBTQ people, we are to be one human family, and our diversity does make us stronger, and our unity does give us power. And guess what? You might be like, oh, at least they're not making fun of the gays anymore, and now they're making fun of the trans people. Guess what? They are going to come for you next as soon as they have knocked us down.
Well, they've already said as much as well.
LGBTQ plus news is vital for our community and for the broader world as a whole. We have enough enemies at Fox News. Tucker, Sean, and Laura are loud. We need passionate allies. Happening Out television network, Queer News Tonight, and It's Happening Out are literally out of the closet and into the headlines. Our community needs your support. Like this broadcast and subscribe now to ensure the growth of the entire LGBTQ plus community.